What's up, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Gearist TV. On today's episode, we're going to talk to you guys about the Combyn ski and snowboard helmet from Giro. So in sports where there is a possibility for large head impacts, like football or cycling or skydiving or snowboarding or skiing, there's increasingly more and more attention being put onto the way that the helmet impacts the ground and the way that head impacts the ground within the helmet. Because for years, the way that it worked was there was a single density rigid foam. Look at an old school bike helmet. It's just foam. Even if it's dual density rigid foam, it's going to break as soon as it hits the ground. You're going to have to replace that helmet, number one. And number two, it's not always the best way to cushion the impact of a fall. Yes, it's going to protect your head and keep your brains from spilling all over the ground. But when Giro approached this for this particular helmet, which is a new way of thinking for them, they really decided to think outside the box. Rather than going with a traditional foam, what they did was they went with a foam called vinyl nitrile, or nitrile, N-I-T-R-I-L-E, and they used a dual density of that vinyl nitrile inside of a soft shell. Ready for this? Because a traditional rigid shell helmet isn't what they were going for, and it was something that, again, had to be replaced every time there was a significant crash. With this helmet, they really went outside the box, and so now we're going to tell you a little bit about it. The first thing that we're going to touch on, again, is the material and construction of the helmet. Right away, this is a soft shell outer helmet. Now, yes, you're not going to be able to push on it. It does knock, but it's also a soft shell. Now, what that means is that it's going to be able to take more than one impact. That's a byproduct of the soft shell on the exterior, as well as the vinyl nitrile dual density foam, which you can see right around here on the interior. Now, what's really cool about that is that this foam is set up to slow down the impact. In a traditional foam helmet, what happens is you've got this single density. Even if it's a dual density rigid foam, it's still a rigid foam that when your head hits it, it generally is going to hit it very, very hard. Now, Giro sent along with this helmet a little piece of the vinyl nitrile, kind of a sample that I could show. Now, what you can see here is these holes, okay? These holes are going to act as the preliminary buffer for the head. This is what is up against the surface of the head. That's going to be the preliminary buffer. It's going to begin to slow the head down. Now, this is going to be for kind of more slow speed, or low speed rather, impacts. And as soon as that goes in there, it starts to slow the head down, the acceleration of the head toward the ground. Yes, it's important to protect from that jarring impact, but it's also important to not just immediately slow it down like that, not slow down the impact by stopping it, but to actually give it some steps to slow down. So the preliminary foam that you see here is meant to begin to slow it down. Then the lighter gray foam here kind of takes over, and that's going to be for even more cushioning on some more high speed or more aggressive impacts. It's a really, really cool material, and it's really very, very flexible, as you can see here. It's a soft foam. It's almost similar to some sort of EVA, kind of without the springiness of EVA. Really, really interesting material to kind of take a look at. Another really cool feature of that soft outer shell meets the flexible inner dual density vinyl nitrile foam. What's really great about it is that it fits a wide variety of heads. Now, my head is nothing particularly out of the ordinary shaped, but if it were, let's just say it were round, more round this way than another one, or more oblong than another one, this fits really, really well on any shape head, really. I mean, because it's not just kind of cramming you into a rigid shape. It's really a very, very nice fit and very, very comfortable. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. Before we move on into the other aspects of the helmet, I do want to mention that I have only really eaten it once pretty hard in this helmet. This is primarily a free ski helmet, but it works really, really well as a free ski or snowboard helmet. This works really, really well as an all-mountain helmet, again, because of its comfort level and because of its just impact resistance. It's really great for that. Now, I've only eaten it pretty hard in this like one time, and that was an interesting crash because of the flat light and I couldn't see where I was going, and it turns out I was sitting still and not actually moving. Very interesting. More on that later. But what was interesting about this is the impact. Now, a lot of times if you're going to fall into a rigid foam helmet, you're going to feel this kind of really hard. This wasn't like that. It was kind of interesting. Yes, you definitely feel the impact, but what's cool about it is it feels like you're just landing on a really firm memory foam mattress. So it's kind of this like hit and then press into the material, almost like a non-Newtonian material. Really cool, really interesting impact, and actually it did a great job. You know, I honestly don't want to have to test it out for real and see what like running into a tree feels like or coming down off a 16-foot jump feels like, but based on that small crash that was still pretty hard, based on that, I can say that it's really interesting, really comfortable, and just really effective shock absorbing system. Now let's talk about some of the features of the helmet. As you can see here, obviously, there are the chin strap, okay? The cheek straps come over the ear pads here. Now, it comes with this cushy, winter insulated, nice foamy, not foamy, fleecy, there you go, fleecy chin strap right there. Feels very, very comfortable. Internally, you can see, very plush. It feels really great on the head. It really does, and that complements the flexible shape of the helmet as well as the vironitrile foam, the VN foam inside. Additionally, the goggle retainer strap right here. This is removable. So if you don't want it, say you wear your goggles underneath your helmet or what have you, this completely comes off. It's not a big deal. And actually this can be worn as a skate helmet, as a skate park helmet. Really something easy to convert into that. One of my favorite features, and this is something that you're going to see in a lot of helmets these days, is the audio compatibility in the ear pad area. Now, for this particular helmet, what I really liked is that the ear pad system comes completely out, because again, this can be a skate park helmet if you need it to be. Rather than showing you the way that I put the earpieces in, I'll show you the way they come out, because it's a little bit quicker. So basically, you're going to pop these things through, you're going to pop the straps through, and then the entire ear pad system snaps out. It snaps out this right here, and I'll just show you on the one side, right here, Velcro, hook and loop, if you will. So this hook and loop enclosure, your ear pads, your audio ear pods that are specifically made for this, and these are chips by Outdoor Technology. These slide right in there, they're Bluetooth, they work really well. And I really like this because not only do these fit right in there just really naturally, but right along the back here, this kind of neck roll of padding, this is where the wire goes that connects one side to the other. I've worn other helmets that have great audio compatibility in terms of the ear pads, but they're missing that channel. So essentially there's a wire hanging off the back of your neck the entire time you're wearing it. With this, that's not the case. These snap right in there. The wire fits right in that channel, and you'll never even know it's there. In fact, it looks the same. Really, really great addition. Some people don't like riding with audio. It's no big deal. Either way, it's comfortable and works really well for me. Probably one of my favorite features of this helmet is the stack vent system. Now, you're going to see this increasingly in more and more helmets as it becomes obvious that it's definitely needed. Now this is the Giro block goggle. We're going to talk about this in a week or so here. But what's great is that most goggles have the ventilation here on top. And what's cool about that in this helmet is that while a lot of helmets are solid through here, and yes, you can see the vinyl nitrile, the VN foam right here is definitely solid, what you can also see is that these forward-facing vents right here, they're going to sit right over top of the vent channels on these goggles. So that when you put these goggles on, those vents are allowed to have airflow direct up into those forward-facing vents. This is a technology that Giro tries to roll through to a lot of its helmets, and they've really influenced it well, or excuse me, put it to use well in the Giro Combyn. As I mentioned a couple of times now, the fit of the Combyn is really, really awesome. Super, super comfortable. It does come with an extra set of foam pads. Now these can be used when you take out the kind of cold weather liner here, which again is just hook and loop closure. You can take that out, put in these foam pads, and again, this makes a great warm weather skate park or what have you helmet. What's great about the fit also again is that it's very flexible. It's going to fit a wide variety of heads and be very comfortable for long runs out there. Because if you're like me, going in when you're out skiing or snowboarding or whatever, when you're going in for lunch, you have to like be pried off the slope. So it's really nice to have something that is comfortable on your head for a long period of time. Overall, I really have to give Giro a lot of credit for thinking outside the box with this helmet. It's a great piece that fits really well, very, very comfortable. It's got a lot of cool technological features that I feel could be rolled forward to other helmets, and in fact are. There's a new helmet that Giro's just come out with that is very similar to this, but it's got adjustable venting where this does not. These are all open vents, and it's also got a brim. That's the Discord helmet that you can check out on Giro. I think it's girosport.com. You're also going to have a really hard time finding a helmet that's going to give you the same bang for your buck that's not a soft shell. This guy comes in at $120, and what's great about that is to keep in mind that it's going to go through a lot of crashes if needs be. God forbid you go and crash every single day into a tree or off a 16-foot drop or something like that. But if you do, it's going to live. It's going to last a long time. So this is a lot of bang for your buck if you consider the miles or the falls that you're going to be able to get out of $120. So really well done with the price point. This is a really impressive helmet that we would definitely recommend to a first-time rider for its comfort level and its ability to handle a crash. It's also going to be something that somebody who's a really regular park visitor, terrain park visitor, is going to really be able to take advantage of. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Gearist TV. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. Also, while you're clicking around here, please click on over to Gearist.com. You can see the sign right here. Take a look around there. Let us know what you think. If you've got any questions or comments, leave a comment there. Check out all of our reviews, and by all means, most importantly of all, please subscribe to this channel. There's a subscribe button right up there, I believe, and you're going to see another one that's right here in just a couple seconds. So click on that subscribe button, get all the updates, and be in the know with promotions that we've got coming up. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Hey there everyone, and thanks so much for watching this episode of Gearist TV. Please click on that wonderful, beautiful blue subscribe button right there. Also, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the questions and comments section below. And don't forget to visit Gearist.com. We'll talk to you next time.